This is your hot seat. Yeah.
I mean, I'm wondering, you are the expert here. Does it make sense that we're having queues at the filling station? What exactly could be the cause?
Thank you very much, Sam. This is the result of the past wrongs we have been accumulating. 7 years ago, Sam, if you remember very well, that I wrote a memo, an open memo, when the then Minister of Petroleum, Mr. Kachuku, said that he was going to resign. 2017, I wrote a memo, open memo. If you Google it, he said he was going to resign in 2019 if Nigeria still continued to import petroleum products, because he was so sure that the refineries will be fixed, the government-owned refinery will be fixed. But here we are. We have been following queues far back, 30 years now. For the last 30 years, we have been having queue, which means something is fundamentally wrong. And what is wrong is that we lack internal capacity to manage anything we have. That is just the problem we are having. So we have the petroleum reserve, we have gas, we have oil reserve in large volume, very good compared to our population, very good. We are very endowed.
We can be sufficient.
Very sufficient.
I mean, there are those who believe that, okay, yeah, if Nigeria could not manage its refineries, 4 of them, and over the years, the first one came, we thought that it wasn't sufficient. We built the second one, the third one, and the fourth one. And we thought with those 4 refineries, we should have some sufficiency and also even sell to other countries the refined product. But for several years, we've been doing turnaround maintenance of these 4 refineries. And we came with Dangote refinery. Oh, we thought that is a miracle from the private sector, one of the biggest that we've seen in the industry. Well, it doesn't look like the Dangote refinery, which from the private sector, is going to fix anything. In fact, it's also having its own problems.
No, look, Sheung, since independence in 1960, Dangote refinery is the first mega industrial project that is putting us on the status of economic sovereignty. Our political sovereignty and economic sovereignty since 1960 has never been as concretized as the completion of Dangote refinery. It's the most significant achievement since 1960.
Really?
Yeah. I will prove it. Even not Ajaokuta is a child's play. Ajaokuta is a child's play. LLNG is just a unit of Dangote refinery. LLNG in Bonny.
So that's how
it's just
big
a
Dangote
unit.
is.
Yes, exactly. So this is the only man that is emancipating us economically. And I will give you the entire value chain of that refinery. The value chain of that refinery, from the cracking unit of crude to the petrochemical unit to all the byproducts. Nigeria, for the first time, we are going to have our economic sovereignty.
If it works well.
It has to work.
But Dangote,
it must work.
Can Dangote refinery, products refined from Dangote refinery, can it sufficiently feed Nigeria for all its finished product needs?
Yes, for now. At this stage of our development and the population growth, yes. Because the 4 government-owned refineries combined, the small one in Port Harcourt built in 1965, the bigger one built in 1988, and the Warri refinery built in 1978, Kaduna 1980, combined will not give Nigeria more than maybe 20 million liters per day of petrol. So that is the 4 combined. And today Nigeria is consuming maybe about 40 million. Dangote refinery alone will do about 50 million liters of petrol per day. So that means he's going to secure this country. And because the rate at which electric vehicle is coming, the energy balance will just make us to succeed in transiting to electricity. What we get from Dangote refinery in the next 5 to 10 years will help us to transit to electricity.
But if this is the case, I mean, you are the expert here, and there are a whole lot of arguments about the Dangote refinery, the status, what the quota in which it will get. I'm understanding that about 350 or 450 a barrel is what can be given by the NNPCL to Dangote. Is that right?
Yeah, so you see, whatever volume or quantity they want to give, look, NNPC that is supposed to give it, are you sure they even have the capacity to give? NNPC does not produce petroleum crude oil. NNPC just manages documents for us. It's a clerical entity. That whole place is just a bureaucratic clerical entity. They don't produce. They have 60% in some of these assets. They have 55% in some of these assets. But they produce nothing. Show me one rig they have. They don't, even the GMD himself, how many times have he been to the rigs? He's a politician now. He just go about following politicians. It's not a technocrat
you don't think
anymore.
He's doing
so
a good
they
job?
Cannot give.
You don't think
they cannot give
Mele
what they
Kyari
don't
is doing
have.
a good job?
Which good job is he doing?
No, but
because we pretend in this country we don't say the truth. Which good job is
the man has gotten a second?
His team has
shot.
failed the country.
How do you mean?
His team has failed the country.
That would be unfair if you cannot substantiate what you mean by that.
What can I not substantiate? For the last 10 years, have you hit 2 million barrels per day with your reserve?
Is it Mele Kyari's fault? Is it Mele Kyari's fault?
It's the system. If you are the head, you resign. If it is not working, you resign. In a civilized society with this level of outcry, the voice of man is the voice of God. You will resign. You will resign. In fact, he is embarrassing the president. He cannot give 300,000 or 400,000 to Dangote. Where will he get it?
Really?
Unless he moves
out of the 1 million,
unless
the
president directs Mele to release all the assets he's sitting on and allow private investors to enter it and look for money and produce and sweat those assets. This guy is sitting on empire.
Is Mele Kyari the problem of
For me, bad leadership is a problem for the country and for NNPC.
But his principal, the man that appointed NNPC him, don't think that Mele Kyari does a bad job.
Because he's being fed with lies. People who hold public offices lie to be there. To sustain their offices.
I will respect your knowledge about the industry.
I have reasonable knowledge to.
But I'm worried about your criticism of Mele Kyari because there are those who believe that
it's not about him. It's not about him as a person. Whoever is there that is failing, it's like having a team. If you have a team to face Arsenal or Man U, and the team is not winning in 10 years, won't you change the team? Will you retain them if you are the manager? The president, our president, is being misled. Is being fed with rumors. President Tinubu should wear his crystal glasses, and look properly.
The president is the Minister of Petroleum Resources.
Is it not the information they give him he works on? I'm telling you, look, there are assets that this guy is sitting on that can bring out crude.
What kind of assets?
I mean, acreages that will bring out, if you open them up and free the environment, you bring resources out now that will feed Dangote refinery. This country can produce 3 million barrels per day.
So we are producing less than half of
How can
capacity.
We be doing 1.3, 1.3, 1.4? Even if you add the condensate, 1.6, as the president said.
How do we even produce 2.5, not talk of 3 million a year?
We can get to 2.5 if you free the system. You know the adage that says, somebody, I think it was Malam Nasir El-Rufai or the Emir of Kano, Sanusi, says that if you don't kill NNPC will kill Nigeria. 60% of the macroeconomic problem of Nigeria is NNPC. I say it.
How do you then deal with that? We
wanted to privatize this when I was in BP. The same monster you built today, they were the one against it. You see, the commanding height, the commanding era that's supposed to have given way, relaunched itself back between 2007 when Obasanjo left office and now. The commanding height is the one fighting Dangote now.
Really? And who are these commanding heights?
The commanding height is the system that believe that the state enterprise must be controlled by government.
What do they get from
because
that?
They are rentiers. It's rentier. What do they get? It's rentier. Okay. If the 4 refinery combined will not do more than 20 million liters, and one single person who was to buy Porako refinery and Kaduna and his group that time were to upgrade the 2 refinery, those refineries were taken away from them in 2007. And then the man said, look, by the grace of God, inshallah, I will build my own refinery in this country. So a private man decided to sacrifice everything in his life to build a refinery like this. That now the capacity is more than the combined that of government. And the same NNPC now, the monster we built. You and me, all of us build the monster called NNPC because we are hailing them. We give them National Merit Award after destroying our assets.
But
we still give them National Merit Award.
What about those who believe that Dangote is much of a monopolist? And in a capitalist environment, it is not competitive to have a monopolist.
So it's a very wrong narrative. Please go and check the real meaning in economics of monopoly, duopoly, oligopoly. Go and check it very well. There are 4 government-owned refineries, and you build one as an individual. So how have you become a monopoly?
Refinery, we have litany of private refineries.
Exactly. So how has he become a monopolist?
But I mean,
because he scale up. Look, let me give you small history. When Lafarge was running Ewekoro and Sagam, they were the 2 cement factories in Nigeria. Then followed by Ashaka Cement, then followed by Benue Cement, then Northern Cement in Sokoto. All these were government shareholders. Government had share, Odua has share in Lafarge. Okay, Dangote came in and said, why should Nigeria be importing cement? Dangote built his cement factory in Obajana. And then he acquired Benue Cement. Today, see what he has scaled to. Before, saying we had 4 major banks in Nigeria. All government had share. We privatized the shares. Today, how many banks are in Nigeria? Because we issue licenses. So why should government sit on the asset of the country and we are in poverty? Look, we have land, but you don't grow rice. You are importing rice.
I don't know how we got so
we have oil. We have gas.
Our conversation was supposed to be the fuel queues and how we got out. I mean, for some reason, emotional reason, we got into Dangote refinery matter, which was not supposed to be our focus. But anyway, now that we are in it, why the controversy so much about Dangote refinery? If it's going to change the scheme of things for us in the oil and gas sector, who are these people? We need to start naming to shame people. Who are these people that are fighting Dangote?
As long as the monster is still the one importing petroleum products, and allocating it through PFI, pro forma invoice, on weekly basis. As long as it's still this monster doing it, we will continue to have queue. Because they manage inefficiency in NNPC. We pay them. Do you know how much they get per month? So why will there be no queue? Okay, now there's queue everywhere. They still get fat salaries. Is that not enough? That has qualified them to be sacked. Because they are the sole importer of PMS.
But it's a private company now.
It's not yet private. Who are the shareholders? Who governs the governor? Who governs the governor? So who are the shareholders? Who are the shareholders?
So it's shrouded in fraud.
No, it's not shrouded in fraud. But let's dissect it. I will give you. Who governs the governor? Who owns NNPC? Minister of Petroleum, 50%. Minister of Finance, 50%. Okay? So who owns Minister of Finance and Minister of Petroleum? You and me. You have one share, I have one share. 210 million people, one share. So we own it. Who is to govern NNPC? Through the president. President is the chairman because he's the Minister of Petroleum.
The National Assembly
is the one representing your share, my share. So they are the one that's supposed to query.
The National Assembly started an investigation on the oil and gas sector and the alleged sabotage of the sector of the nation. Where do you think the solution is? If President Tinubu is watching right now, what do you think he should be doing urgently?
Well, if our President Tinubu, I will dissolve NNPC board, and I will sack the entire management.
For what reason?
For inefficiency, for gross inefficiency. Gross inefficiency. I repeat, gross inefficiency and mismanagement of resources. I saw they were in National Assembly. Did our senators and the legislators, they are not strong because some of them, I don't understand. They are not strong. They are the one representing your share, my share. They are the one in the AGM, annual general meeting. They are the one that's supposed to question. That's who governs the governor.
But Mr. Melekari at that presentation said they are not thieves, they are not rogues, they are not criminals, but that he is willing to bail the cat.
You and myself, only President Tinubu has bailed the cat in this country by removing subsidy and the dwarf foreign exchange system we were running. He's the only one. Obasanjo attempted it. Yar'Adua reversed it. He's the only one. Jonathan attempted it in 2012. Politically, Fayemi said that they work against it. Former Governor Fayemi said so. He said we play politics with it. So they reverse it. But President Tinubu have done it now. So all of us, professionals, elites, we must support President Tinubu to carry along with the policy, to see to the logical end, because that is the only way to liberate this economy. So if Mele say he's honest, everybody will say he's honest. But what under you? What is going on under you? He can be the most honest, he can even be an angel. But what is happening under him? Gross inefficiency is happening under him. So you cannot tell that story to some of us. We can't buy it.
And you think that that's the way, that's the only solution?
Yeah, and I have rights to talk. Every Nigerian have right to talk. Thank you for giving me the privilege to talk here. We must support, we must encourage President Tinubu as a private sector driven person to support Aliko Dangote refinery to succeed. This is the time we're at a crossroad. There is a project.
Is there still a major threat on Aliko Dangote refinery not working?
I don't see any technical threat more than the issue of supply. Guaranteed supply of crude.
Has it been there now? Are there supply to Dangote now?
No, you know it's difficult for NNPC. Even if NNPC tell you they will give you 450,000 barrels per day. My brother, where will they get it? This is what I'm saying. You can't give what you don't.
So there's still problem.
Yeah, there's a problem because the traders who have already booked our crude offtakes, they will want a premium on it because they also have commitments somewhere.
All right.
I hope